Hello, I'm Shelley Campbell, owner CEO of Smooth Winds Travel. Today we have our dear friend and travel navigator here at Smooth Winds Travel, Emily Nix, and we are talking all things Disney, all those locations, and honeymoons, sharing her firsthand experience and helping others create a magical and fun honeymoon to the Disney parks, Disney cruise, or Alani. Hello. Today I am joined with not only our friend of Smooth Winds Travel, but one of our navigators herself is going to be sharing her firsthand knowledge of having her honeymoon at Walt Disney World and now how she helps others enjoy their honeymoons at whether the Disney parks, Alani, Disney Cruise, Adventures by Disney. So, Emily, welcome. Thanks for joining me today. Before we get into all this, tell us about yourself and what made you choose Walt Disney World for your honeymoon.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, Shelley. It's always a pleasure to talk about Disney, especially when it comes to a Disney honeymoon. First, a little bit about me. I was born and raised in Dallas, Texas. I have two older sisters. I went to the University of Oklahoma and studied music education and vocal performance with a minor in English. I've been married for about 2 years, and we have a 4-month-old daughter who will be having her very first Disney trip in just a little over a month, which we're super excited for. My first trip to Disney as an adult was actually our honeymoon. My husband was actually the one that brought it up, which is super funny. It's often reversed, I feel, but he brought it up, and my first reaction, as I'm sure many of our viewers might have, was, wait, isn't Disney just for kids and their families? Is it really that romantic? But I was very happily surprised. It fit a lot of things that we were wanting. We could relax by the pool. We could have romantic dinners. We could have moments of spontaneity and kind of pivot halfway through the day. We could have really go, go, go days at the parks if we wanted to. And also, we're both musicians, so having touches of artistry throughout a honeymoon was really important to us. And Disney definitely delivered with live music,
Yeah.
Broadway style performances, and even the food, culinary masterpieces. You can see just the artistic talent throughout Disney. It was actually my honeymoon that made me want to become a travel agent because I saw how much it could really make a honeymoon special. And I really wanted to help other people write a chapter of travel that fit where they were in life. Maybe it's their honeymoon or their family trip. Disney really has something for everybody.
Love it. I love it. And that's what, I'll say you're very, very lucky because I mentioned a Disney honeymoon to my husband and he said, heck no. So we went to Aruba instead. But
Yeah.
that's kind of, I think, when people say Disney honeymoon, they go straight to the parks. There are, yes, the parks, but there's a Disney cruise, there's Alani, so Hawaii vacations, there's Adventures by Disney, so Disney fully guided tours throughout the whole world. So there is a lot of options when you say Disney, but today we're kind of focused on that Disney, parks in there. So there is a bunch to think about when you start planning a Disney vacation, where you want to stay, what you want to do. Do you want to relax? Do you want to be go, go, go? Do pools matter? Spas, your dining, like you mentioned. So that's one of those great things to have a travel planner like us kind of at your side to help guide you. So let's kind of start there. Where did you stay? How did you pick your resort? What was important to you?
Yeah, I think where you stay at Disney is one of those underrated decisions that can really almost make or break your trip. And for us, we stayed at Disney's Wilderness Lodge. It was close to Magic Kingdom, which was a park that we knew we wanted to spend a lot of time at. It had multiple modes of transportation. So we could take the boat to Magic Kingdom, which was also a touch of romance each day, or we could take the buses to Hollywood Studios or Epcot, all of that. We also took into account dining for where to stay. Wilderness Lodge has a character dining that has Snow White and the dwarves and the Evil Queen also there, and it has a bar attached to it. So if you want to hang out at the bar before your table is ready, or maybe just a late night drink, that's an option. Those were, and of course, our budget was something that we took into account when looking at a resort for a honeymoon. We definitely wanted more of a deluxe kind of luxury feel, which was another reason why we landed on Wilderness Lodge. And it really just hit a lot of the points that we were hoping for.
Yeah, and that's really the lodging, your resort can almost make it like a vacation inside of a vacation. Wilderness Lodge, you feel like maybe you're at Yellowstone. Polynesian, you've got that very kind of Hawaii, um, Animal Kingdom Lodge. You wake up, you have breakfast or your coffee, I shouldn't say breakfast, your coffee in your room, and you look right out and you've got zebras walking around. So you got an African safari for in Disney combo. So those are some really great things too. If you're just going for the parks and you want to go, then yeah, go one of those values or moderates. But some of those moderates are kind of nice too. You feel like you're in New Orleans or, some great options there. All right, since you kind of mentioned it, and part of the reason you picked your resort and where you stayed was that dining. So Disney is not just chicken strips and hamburgers. It really has some, Disney World, Disneyland has some great five-star dining options, award-winning chefs, things like that, some romance, some characters, some all that stuff. So let's talk about that and some of those options and what you even did on your honeymoon.
Yeah, so there are two dining experiences besides character dining that really come to my mind. The first one is signature dining, and this can include really fine dining experiences like having a steak or things like that. And we went to Be Our Guest, which is kind of almost a signature dining and character dining in and of itself because you have the Beast. You're in the Beast Castle and the Beast comes out, you get to see him, but you also have a really fancy dinner. We usually get the steak and we'll get a glass of wine with it. And then right after you finish eating, you get to go watch, or you can go watch Magic Kingdom fireworks after that,
Oh, yes.
which fireworks, there are also dining packages that include fireworks in the package. So if you're at Hollywood Studios, you could eat at Brown Derby or Hollywood and Vine, and then go see the Phantasmic show, and you'll get prime optimal seating for it. You don't have to fight crowds as much as you're getting in and out of the show. There's also a California Grill at Contemporary Resort that you can eat and watch Magic Kingdom fireworks at the same time. Epcot even has one. If you really like Japanese food, there is Shikisai, where you can have sushi and miso soup and all these different nigiri and eat and then watch the Epcot fireworks, which is super romantic and just a way to really level up that dining experience and help you add that level to your honeymoon.
Yeah, my favorite is Animal Kingdom Lodge in Chico. I just love that experience there. But there's so many wonderful dining spots you can have. There are just so many wonderful options with great chefs, great things. There's even some great dining options at Disney Springs. But then even like you talked about. Wilderness Lodge. I like Geyser Point, just a nice, easy, relaxing, sitting out in the open air, having great breezes, things like that. But then kind of segueing into these wonderful dinings, don't forget to also maybe just have some downtime, some relaxations at the resorts. All right, let's talk about those romantic extras. So, not just sitting in or things I guess you can't even still do in the park. We've talked about the dining, but what are some of those extra options that we can do on a Disney honeymoon?
Yeah, the first one that you can do right when you get to your resort is you can get a celebration button that tells everyone, "Hey, I'm on my honeymoon." And everywhere you go, cast members, even other guests at the park will tell you congratulations and just be super excited with you. Kind of makes you feel like a celebrity as you're walking around the park and everyone's congratulating you and just being really excited that
And
you're
don't
in.
forget your bride and groom ears. Those are
Yeah, for sure. Yes, that's definitely another marker just to help you feel extra special as you celebrate this chapter. Some of the other things that you can do to kind of elevate your experience, a spa experience at Disney's Grand Floridian. You can do a couple spa there. There are private fireworks cruises, horse-drawn carriage rides, dessert parties and photography. That is a huge aspect, at least for us, of Disney, was that there were professional photographers that could take our photos. So we got the Memory Maker, which allowed us, we could take our own pictures at Disney, of course, but we got professional photos taken around the parks. Sometimes there'd be little characters in the photos. They would have us act things out or just be romantic with each other. And it was just another special way to capture our honeymoon together.
And that's awesome. And then you can even step that up one step if they have the capture your moment kind of very private photo sessions where you could go in Magic Kingdom. They have it in Epcot. They have it in a couple of different places where it's about 30 minutes with your own private photographer. And you go to different locations throughout the park and you kind of feel special when people are standing in line to come get their photo. I think it's a regular photographer and they do always have a helper with them and like no, this is a private session. You feel so special, but it's another great way to you could even maybe take a bouquet in with you if you wanted something special there, wearing your ears, whatnot. I've seen people even for graduations and cap and gowns and different things, so that's a great little add-on in there too to keep that special moment going. I love the fireworks cruises, but that kind of leads us into not just a honeymoon, but Disney offers also weddings there at the park. So these are private, varies your locations, where it is. You've got the pavilion there at Grand Floridian, but there's been weddings I've seen on the grounds in Canada. There's different, and then you go into the parks and you have your receptions and I love the when I see wedding receptions out there watching in Epcot, watching the fireworks and stuff. It's really fun. But then that also kind of leads us into seasons. When's the right time to go to Disney? Is it your honeymoon? Do you use it right away? Do you wait? What are those things kind of that encompasses that you want to think about when planning your honeymoon and seasons?
Yeah, so for us, our honeymoon was the first week of September, which meant that it was pretty rainy every day. But we actually love rain, so it didn't bother us. But if you're not a huge rain person, then that might not be the time for you to go to Disney. Another thing to factor in are different festivals that happen throughout the year at Disney. So you have Festival of the Arts in January, February. You have the Garden Festival in the spring and the Epcot Food and Wine Festival in the fall. Those can really aid to your experience and give you more specialized things to do. There's seasonal decorations for Halloween and Christmas, and even some
Yeah.
special parties that happen during that time, like Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. So all of those can really impact when you go in crowds, of course. That's a
Yes.
thing to consider too. On your honeymoon, you might not want to be sardined around the park. You might want some space. And so that is definitely something that a travel advisor can help you determine is based on your wants and needs for when to go. We can help suggest when the best time would be. Even just delaying your trip a few days could make a big difference in your
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah, definitely love it. Yeah, one of the things, whether honeymoon or not, even with my regular travels throughout the year, I love to just tell them don't forget to take a moment to just relax, enjoy, have some downtime, plan a day off, things like that. So, those spontaneous moments, like we talked about, where you just spend a day, sleep late, go hang out by the pool, go to the spa, go take a carriage ride. There's just so much to do. So, anything else you can kind of think about there and that spontaneity or when you plan to help you?
Yeah, two things that kind of come to my mind. Don't be afraid to spend a day at Disney Springs. It's a
Yes.
place you can walk around and shop. There are tons of places to eat. We personally love Pizza Ponte and get some slices of pizza. Or you can go to the Rainforest Cafe, which is a reservation dining. We also love seeing the Cirque du Soleil show.
Yes.
Acrobatic, story driven, Broadway level performance that is just a must see for us each time we go now. And there's just a lot of options at Disney Springs. And another, one of the parks, Epcot, is a great park for honeymoons. You can drink around the world or just generally explore each of the cultures.
Yeah.
There's rides throughout Epcot that you can do, like Frozen or Remy's Ratatouille ride. All of those, it has a lot of options, whether you want to just relax and walk around or fit some more rides in.
Yeah. And leave those moments for things to kind of just naturally happen. At least one full day there and just take it easy. It doesn't have to be jam-packed rides all the time. Lots of little moments. And you mentioned earlier that you love the arts and the music. Disney Springs usually has some kind of band, some kind of singer, something going on there too. So just lots of moments and things in there. That's what we really kind of guide. Um, really personalize everybody's honeymoon to them and their wants and their needs in there. So, kind of before we conclude, what else can you kind of think about things that we help and, you don't want to forget?
Well, I will say we're talking about a lot of things that you can experience at Disney, and sometimes it can feel really overwhelming at first, especially if you open up social media. You see people saying, "Oh,
Yes.
do this and this and this, and if you don't do this, you're going to have a terrible experience." And it can really kind of dishearten you about going. But that is one of the huge perks about having a travel advisor, someone that's been there, done it, can help you kind of navigate through the weeds and really narrow down what's important to you and help your trip be focused on you. And we can really help write a chapter of travel for you that fits your honeymoon and what you envision for it, and really just help you navigate Disney like a pro, like you've been going all the time, and just take out as much stress as we can and help you have a relaxing honeymoon.
And that's what we're here for, to think of those things that you don't think about, to help create those magical moments, take that stress away. And yes, I think so much is out there in that social media world that everybody thinks they have to do everything, and you don't. It's all good. We hope you'll fall in love and you'll go back again. Oh, well, I love it. Well, a honeymoon is a once in a lifetime kind of thing. We're here to make it the best possible, the most memorable, and the smoothest vacation for you. So, if you're planning your honeymoon or destination wedding, we're here, whether it's the theme parks, Alani, a cruise, whatever fits you best. We can definitely walk you through there and help you find those special moments in that honeymoon. So, thank you, Emily, for joining me. If you are looking for planning your honeymoon to one of the Disney options out there, please reach out to Emily or one of our travel navigators. We will help get you there for sure. Thanks for watching.